Hey everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this episode where we are going over a wing building and how to build a drag wing for our car. If you saw our previous build series, episode 6, where we went over a whole bunch of different pieces of the car, you saw that one of the things we were working on this upcoming week was building the drag wing, and a lot of people had said, hey, I want to see how that's done. We want to see all of the stuff there. So we actually took an entire day and filmed that today. I'm actually at home right now. I'm editing right now, and I just found out that our opening clips had it had a corrupted audio file, and for some reason it was kind of glitching on there. So you're going to listen to me here with a couple of clips going on for the beginning. Just bear with me there, and then we're going to get right into as we're building everything. So the first thing we had to do was make a pattern for the side panels of the car there, for the sill panels. And Al had already done this the day before because I had to leave to get ready for a banquet. So he started building the side panels and the patterns and got those all cut out, and then we started filming today. Couple of the things on there was finding everything. The one pattern is actually good for both sides because it's going to fit the same for the shape. It's just the curvature is going to be different on each one on there. So that's one big thing that that we did on that, or he did the day before. The next thing that we did on there was we had to take a lot of measurements of height, and then we had to make sure the length of it is correct. On different lengths, you use different length drag wings for different speeds. So if you're doing, 150 mile an hour, you can get away with a, 14 or 15 inch wing. But if you're going to be doing over 150, upwards of 200, you're going to want to go with that maybe 16 to 19 inch long wing, depending on rules, of course, and, how it's going to look on there. This wing actually came out right around 18 3/4 inches. So we know we're going to run some quarter mile stuff on here, and we wanted to have that extra room on there, and we know we're going to exceed 150 in the 8th already. So we wanted to have that extra wing on there, the length, make sure everything is good. Other than that, we did everything on here in one day, and check out the rest of it. Okay, so the second side panel's made, and go ahead and tell us about what you did here.
Okay, well, I just went and I made all my bends. I folded the top lip over and got that crushed down, so it gives it a lot of rigidity. The material that we're using is just an 040 aluminum on here, so it's not like it's carbon fiber or something like that.
That's
okay,
similar to what you'd find on, say, like a dirt track car or something like that?
This is very similar to all the dirt track car stuff.
You can get pretty much at any of the steel places.
Steel places, they carry aluminum. Okay, so now what we had to do is make sure that the position of this side is exact to the position of that side. So we took a couple measurements off some known points, and once we got it put in here to where we wanted it, we just traced a line around there to make sure that we always have the same position going. So as we go to the next part of this and make the fill panel for the wing, then we know exactly where we're supposed to be at with the boards.
Okay, so the bends on here, how I can see they're not evenly spaced, so how do you come up with those?
You just have to go, each car is different. You have to go with the natural curvature of the fender on there. I'd love to be able to tell you this is 5 degree, 10 degree, whatever, but there is no set standard for that when you've got so many different cars.
So we saw on there when you were doing the bends on this, did you took your time on the first one to do it, and then you already kind of knew where they had to be, and you used that as the for the second
Correct.
one?
I took the bends off the first side, used that as a pattern for the second side, so that they mirror each other.
Okay, so usually the second one will go quicker than the first.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So since we had the side panels already made, we had those. We taped those on, and we found out where we wanted to come across here on the rear end. So what we did is we took a piece of metal, we cut it to the right width, put it up on here, taped it on, and then we went underneath of it and traced out our body line. Okay, that gave us the contour that we wanted there, and then we just took measurements off of that and moved it back. So here's the piece.
So
So the piece that we cut,
goes up and on. So after we got it cut, which you'll see pictures there, we got it cut for everything there. We made the angles, since we already had measurements of where everything had to be with the side canards or the sill panels, whichever you want to call them on there, so that we could make our bend. There's actually a 90-degree bend here where that's going to attach. And now, since we have it so we can start attaching it to the deck lid, we can then take our measurements of what the curve is going to be, because we already have the curve made here. We can measure straight back of whatever length that we want it to be on there. So what we're going to do next is actually mount the
wing
spoiler,
as it is.
yep, the top plate to the deck lid of the car with Clecos, 1/8-inch Clecos.
Yep.
On there, and then we can start to attach just basic on the side sill panels to get our measurement to exactly where we want it to be, and then make our curve.
Sounds good. Let's do that.
Okay. We got the wing trimmed up and mounted on with some supports underneath. We're going to go over all that in a sec. What we did is we had to measure, as we said, from the edge here back, since we already had our curvature here, which gave us a nice even curve here that we were able to trim up. I was doing the trimming on there since Al's shoulder is still healing. Normally he'd be able to do all this himself, but he's still healing up from that, and the doctor doesn't want him to overwork it, so I helped him with that. But mainly all of this stuff is done by him, and I'm up front there doing the engine stuff and fab stuff up there. So I'm going to take and grab the camera and show you guys the close-ups of what we did. We have some temporary supports underneath, because normally we would use, this is an adjustable support where it can come up and down, has a clip that then comes in to there. It also is a threaded rod end too, so we can really fine-tune it. So if you do want a little bit more, there's about 4 of these. If you want a little bit more on one side, you can kind of preload that than the other. Maybe give you a little bit more downforce one way or the other.
Yep.
And they use a 3 riveted tab with a quick release pin, so you can actually pull the whole thing off. So the Heim joint, or the adjustable Heim, would go through with the quick release pin through the whole thing, and then you pull the pin. That stays with the wing, this stays onto the bumper. It's a pretty cool thing. So I'll grab the camera, show you guys these pieces, show you underneath what we got done there, and then Al's going to walk you through what we're going to do for the next step, which is going to be the wicker bill that goes right here up and down. So stay tuned for that. So these are the individual pieces. This is off of our old car, the one from last year. We were able to save all of these adjustable pieces, but some of these got ruined on the rear bumper. As you can see, it's still green from there, so we have new ones on order. They just have not shown up yet. So that's a really neat little piece that they have there. It's actually like a water jetted piece, and the tabs go through and they're welded on the back side to hold everything in, so it gives it a nice clean look, and there's no welds on the outside there. So what we did here is we used just some flat aluminum with our Clecos in place, and it's all measured, and then up here everything is nice and flat and even. We measured everything from 3 different points to keep it all good on there. So everything is there. That's just to hold it up so we can do all of that. And we have a nice flat wing. We'll kind of take a step back and show you guys. That's kind of flat coming back, curved on the back side. And you see we have like 3 Clecos on the side. There's 5 there. Pretty much wherever you see that we have a Cleco, there's going to be double that. So you see 3 there, there's going to be 5 to 6 on that. You see 5 across there, there's probably going to be close to 10 there. These are just to hold everything in place. If you haven't seen what a Cleco is,
But basically, you have the tool. It pushes it in, and when it pulls back out, it locks the 2 pieces of metal in
let's
place.
turn
together.
that. There we go. Now let's do that. So when you push in nice and slow, it gets smaller. And then there is a small piece in between there that wedges it out.
So it holds it in place without having to rivet it.
Al's going to go over the wicker bill on the back side here, exactly how he plans on building it, and then what the wicker bill is actually going to do. So
The wicker bill is actually going to catch air and give you more downforce. Now, how much or how big your wicker bill is really sets the tone for how much downforce you're going to get off the back. You know, if you have a 3-inch wicker bill back there, or a 3-inch spoiler back there, it's going to provide more downforce, but it's not going to be as aerodynamic, and you're going to lose top end speed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece underneath here. I'm going to form it. I've got the shrinkers and such like that. And I'm going to put a piece underneath here. It's going to be an L piece or a angle bracket. And it's going to run all the way across here. So when I take my wicker bill, I'm going to make it so I can have adjustable or replaceable wicker bills. I'm going to put in some nut zerts into this and be able to bolt that wicker bill on. So if I want a 1/4 inch wicker bill, I can have those already made up. All I have to do is just take a few bolts out, put a new wicker bill on, and then I have less downforce, more slipstream. If I'm at a really sketchy track where we need a lot of downforce at the top end, then I'll put on probably 1.5 inch wicker bill. Give us more downforce at the big end. But I'm in the process of making all that up. As soon as I get that done, we'll be back.
Next thing that we've done on here, we've got the wicker bill done. Al is taking some measurements. He's going to be adding a couple other small things on here. So the wicker bill that we put on, it is all clecoed on all the way across. Al is measuring and marking out for the bead roller with a long wing for the high speed on there. It's just lost a little bit. You can see that flex there, and we don't want that at high speed. So he's going to run a bead roll, 3 of them on there, but it's actually going to dip down, and we do that so that way when the air comes across here, it doesn't disturb it coming up and push it above the wicker bill. So it'll come down on there. So if anything, it'll come down and then hit back up on there. So he's just trying to square it all up because we don't want them at an angle this way or that way and possibly push air one way or the other, and then we fight that with this wing. But so far, as you can see, we'll come this way. It is looking pretty good. We should have it done. Today is Sunday. We should have pretty much all of it done here by the end of the day. So I think we probably have maybe an hour or so left on this. We'll bead roll it. We'll put it all back together like this when it's all done and show the final bits. Okay, guys, we're done. Now I'm going to show this to you. We're done. We still have some of the Clecos in there because we have to take it off of the car still because it's not going to be on here. We still have to, you know, finish the wrap and such on here. But we do have the wicker bill done. We have it off there. We even pulled the plastic off for you. Al was yelling at me, don't be pulling the plastic off. But I was like, it's going to look better without the plastic. And he said, yeah, it does. So here it is. So there is the wing. So at the beginning of the day, you saw there was nothing there. And now we have our sail panels. It's a full wing. We did the bead roll on here, so now you can see it has a lot of rigidity in there. We are still going to be putting a couple more rivets in here, and when we do rivet this on, we have backing plates that go on there to hold everything in to give it some more strength. On the back side, so you can see, these are all 1032 screws, and this entire wicker bill is able to be taken off, and we can make another one, since we know how the holes are spaced, that is taller, shorter. You know, we can take it completely off and have nothing on there. And then we'll have the adjustable strut rods where we could just give it extra angle on there. So that is the building of the wing. Al, what do you want to say on it? What was?
Nobody makes a wing for this particular car other than one particular place that kind of got a monopoly on it type deal. So I just decided to make one ourselves.
Yep. So this is was done at our shop here in Brainerd, Minnesota, Paradigm Automotive and Performance. That's where we have all of the equipment. We do all kinds of sheet metal work for other cars, for race cars and such as well. So if it's something where you want to have a wing, let us know. Give us a call. You could look us up online, ParadigmAuto.com, or call us up here, phone number 218-855-1111. But that way, if you want to get something in there, not a problem, we can do that. Also, on the rest of the build for the car, if there's anything else you want to see, let us know. This came because we had our build series on our channel here, on the Bad Influence Racing channel, and I got about 5 or 6 messages going, I want to see how you build the wing. I want to see how you build the wing. I want to see how you build the wing. So we came in the next day and we built the wing and did this clip for you guys to show the process of how we built it, beginning to end. So if there's something else you want to see on there, you know, it is a a single turbo Hemi, and it's a big tire car. If there's something you want to see, like maybe when we're doing the chassis setup and kind of know a little bit more about that, let me know. If there's something for the interior tin work, let us know. Or putting carbon fiber tubs in, let us know.
If there's any questions about what we did for the wing, ask the questions. I mean, we're here to kind of give some information away, and that's what we want to do. We want to educate people.
Yep, so these little series are for the educational pieces, and then we have our build series that's kind of just showing all the progress on the car. So definitely watch the build series for us. Give us a comment, subscribe, everything like that. If there's something where we just touch on it in there and you go, I want to know more about that, drop a comment, let us know, and we'll make a full video just on that one thing for you guys. So thanks for tuning in. Again, this is the next Bad Influence, the new wing on there, and I think it looks great for a day's work.
Day's work.
Day's work on there. We'll go over it one more time there. So.